How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Jeff, aka Salmar, on the PlayStation Network.
And Kyle, back at it again with the Jeffrey, but this time we're going to talk about the show E3.
Of course. The long-standing E3 conference. So,
But in this video, we're kind of going to be focused around the Nintendo franchise,
Yep.
which is actually not going to be there at all.
yeah, so Nintendo is skipping E3 this year. And each video that we're going to do, it's going to focus on each one. So we're going to do Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation-centric videos. So this is the first one with Nintendo. And we figured to do this one first because they're skipping this one. That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you did some homework.
I did, because I'm not very educated, honestly, like,
Would-
when it comes to video games and the
Mhm.
whole media that revolves
Mhm.
around video games. I really don't know a lot, so...
So to kind of give you a heads up, because I know you did a lot of homework on everybody, but
Mhm.
you know I don't know if you really looked that much into Nintendo. They did announce the NX.
Yes.
Like that's a thing.
I did see that.
But because they're skipping E3,
I saw it was pushed
that's
back
weird.
more and more and more.
Yeah, it's supposedly coming out now.
In 2017.
Yeah, spring 2017. So probably March, April, May, somewhere
Okay.
like that. So before we even get in too much into any specific topic, do you think Nintendo skipping E3 is that big deal, or
I think it's a pretty big deal because, I mean, people already don't give Nintendo a lot of, like,
credence?
yeah, credence besides the really heavy followers, you know, that Nintendo has had the whole time, you know, the really diehard Nintendo fans.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, they haven't really gained a lot of new
Their fan base is
members,
shrank.
you know,
Yeah.
to their
Yeah.
to their fan base. And so them not coming to this kind of I think it kind of handicaps them, honestly. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of them kicking themselves in the shins a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they think it's good for them, but honestly, when I think about it, I don't see any good coming out of it. It just shows that the other your rival companies, I would say,
Mm-hmm.
are ahead of the game, like, or keeping on track, and you're not. Pretty much,
Sure.
that's what that says to me, honestly.
Sure.
And it's kind of disappointing
Okay.
not to see Nintendo there, because that was me personally. Like, the first system I ever owned was an 64,
Gotcha.
and so when I was a kid, I played so much 64. You know, and I really enjoyed it, but as everything has gone on with Nintendo, I've kind of moved away from it, honestly. I
Sure.
haven't really been huge on the Wii or the Wii U,
Sure.
you know, so it's just kind of disappointing, I would say, for them not to be there, and kind of unusual, I guess. I thought they were going to be there, but of
Yeah.
course I didn't know. And I wish they were, because I feel like they would have stuff to show, even though they think they don't. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they're not there.
Well, yeah, I agree. You know, I think Nintendo should have been there, but it's a trend that's happening now. This year, Bethesda skipped. The guys that make Fallout and Elder Scrolls and all that, they skipped. And I think another place skipped besides Nintendo. Like 3 places skipped, I think. Because EA is doing their own thing. They're not even doing. They're doing their own kind of weird. I don't know if it's affiliated with E3 necessarily. It's the same thing with Ubisoft. They're doing like 2 different things on Sunday. So I don't know. I mean, more and more E3 slowly dying. But that being said, that doesn't mean that Nintendo should have skipped, because Nintendo needed E3 in order to show off NX and to really kind of reassure the future of Nintendo. Because really, whether people want to admit it or not, especially the fan base of Nintendo is kind of on its last leg and on its last bullet in terms of console making, because the Wii U failed. The Wii was successful, but in the grand scheme of things wasn't the best console. Really, they've been failing since the N64 in terms of sales, and they've been having a smaller and smaller pool of fans that dwell from because...
Yeah, the GameCube was great.
Oh, it was a fantastic system. It's the best
was
one.
Great, yeah.
It was the
most
best one,
certainly.
but it didn't sell.
Yeah.
mainly because of marketing. I don't, at least for the American point of view, GameCube didn't really get marketed very well because the PlayStation 2 killed it. You know, that was basically the big system that was running
PlayStation
the
2
board.
was
And Xbox, because that was when Xbox came out.
Mhm.
The Xbox, I think, kind of was what kind of put a lot of
kind of
the nails into the coffin for Nintendo.
the
because it stole
exclusives that came out with
Halo,
the PlayStation 2 and Xbox.
Yeah, and Jack and Daxter and Ratchet and Clank.
So it kind of
So
shadowed Nintendo a little bit, the GameCube.
yeah, so that being said, you know, obviously Nintendo's skipping and doing the Treehouse instead of an actual presentation. I would assume, because they will probably do a direct now, I would assume that'll come out in August. So that'll probably be when we learn news. Do you think that's too late?
I would prefer it to be sooner.
Sure.
You know, I really wish it would be sooner.
To compete with the
To-
news
yes,
of the Neo and the
most certainly, because at that point, I feel like a lot of people are gonna kind of be.
people are forgetting it because
Yeah.
people are talking about the Neo.
It's
and
gonna
the
be in the
Scorpio.
back of their head.
Yeah.
You know, it's like all this stuff that has been announced this coming week.
For PlayStation, Xbox,
For PlayStation and Xbox,
for
they're
their
gonna-
new systems.
Yeah.
When Nintendo hasn't even
all of
really
that
talked about
stuff
next.
is
Yeah.
going to be now their focus,
Mhm.
and all of a sudden Nintendo's going to come out and
Be late to the party.
one, if Nintendo was at E3, they already had to have come out guns blazing
Yeah.
with amazing things to say.
Absolutely.
Now that they're pushing this back more,
Mhm.
they're going to have to even come out even better. You know,
Sure.
they have to be. It's going to have to be crazy good news and stuff about their franchise,
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo as a whole, the NX as a whole. You know,
Which, I
just-
mean, to be kind of the devil's advocate, I mean, maybe them pushing it to the Direct is the best thing because they avoid Sony and Xbox and kind of can watch what they do and evaluate.
Yes, but that means
but
I mean,
also-
that
yeah.
kind of shows like they're maybe
They're scared.
yeah
Yeah,
they
maybe.
might be afraid that they can't compete with them anymore.
Maybe.
Which I
Which,
mean,
rumors are they might, if they fail this time, they might be a publisher, so that means Mario might be on PlayStation. something
that
like
that is, would be so odd.
That's the rumor. If they become a publisher. So that's it. That the direct happens, and the whole reason for being pushed back was for maybe to not only make sure that the NX is working properly and everything, but maybe there's a couple other things they want to make sure of.
Mhm.
For one thing, what would be some games that you want to see, obviously, for the direct? Because while they're not at E3, they are going to be showing off the new Zelda game. I would assume at
Oh.
Direct they have to have builds of these other games. So what would be some games that you would want to see from Nintendo in terms of like your predictions for what the Direct will show off for the games they have? You know, like
Would that involve?
like the Star Foxes, like they're franchises. You know, like
Would
what,
it be? Would that involve Pokemon, like Pokemon Moon and
I
Sun?
mean, if you think that those could, like a Pokemon game could be on a home console, I mean, I don't see why not. Why not swing for the fences and make
Yeah.
another Pokemon Stadium or something?
I don't know. Well, of course, Pokemon Stadium was amazing.
Yeah, and they haven't made one in a long time.
Fun. So
Last one was GameCube for Nintendo Stadium 2.
Yeah, it was
I think.
Pokemon Stadium 2, which was still fun. You know,
Mhm.
you could hook up your
Yeah, there's like a campaign to it.
you could hook up. Yeah, it was great, and I mean,
Mm-hmm.
really successful games, I would say.
Mhm.
One game I saw that I looked into. I've heard you talk about it before. Splatoon.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and there was possibly like a Splatoon 2.
There's no way there's not going to be. There
Yeah,
has to be.
that's
It was-
what that's
it
what
was
I
the
saw,
best
like,
game on the Wii U.
Yeah, people were saying like, "Wow, this game is really great."
Yeah.
and they're surprised how great it was.
Yeah, it was very good. Really, the only thing that
And
dampened
so it would be foolish of Nintendo not to make a Splatoon 2, is what
Oh,
they were saying.
God, yes. Really the only thing that's bad about Splatoon, and really that's just it's a larger problem with Nintendo is the online. Nintendo still
Yes.
doesn't have a great online infrastructure, so
Yep.
that's one thing I want to bring up. For Nintendo to be successful, I think with the NX, they have to make this thing very internet connected.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning not just digital downloading stuff and downloading it as a whole, but really it needs to run well with the internet in terms of multiplayer, because that's a big thing. They can't ignore multiplayer games anymore, especially the third party games, because that's what they did
Yeah.
with the Wii U and the Wii. They've ignored third parties.
Yeah, they're just. I feel like Nintendo has just been very stubborn, honestly,
Mhm.
and thinking that they can survive without those major titles.
Yeah.
And
Which, I mean, they've proven that their biggest titles do help them keep afloat, but it don't sell.
yes, it's just they honestly like show the results of this past system. You know,
Yeah.
like they can't do that again.
Yeah.
They can't.
They can't survive in just
Yeah.
not even a new Mario. I mean, really, the only Mario game for the Wii U was there wasn't a new Mario Galaxy or anything. There was Mario Maker, which wasn't even like a new Mario. It was create your own Mario. And then there's the new Donkey Kong and the new Mario Racer and the Smash Bros. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if those get rebooted or remastered for the NX. I don't know, it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
So
It's just been really annoying not to see Nintendo just say, okay, third party, yes, you do need it, honestly. Like, they do need it. They really do. They just need to realize, yes, we should do this. It will help us in the long run.
Yeah.
And we need to stop being just bullheaded, and just say, hey, it's time for us to take charge. It's time for us to finally take this offer.
to kind of put this in perspective, a good example would be PlayStation. Their attachment to Destiny, I think, helped big time in terms of their sales for the system because they were basically connected to the hip with Destiny. Because Destiny sold like a motherfucker. It really it sold out the window. Or another example, I think maybe even better example would be Xbox 360 during the age when Call of Duty really got big. They're attached to the hip, and it was synonymous thought, and it still kind of is, Xbox with Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever you play Call of Duty or hear about Call of Duty, you automatically assume Xbox, and it still kind of is that
Really
way.
do.
And Nintendo needs something like that. They need to get attached to a brand that's third party because those games really helped sell those systems in a lot of ways, and they piggybacked off of one another. Nintendo needs something like that. So what franchise would you think would work well with Nintendo on that kind of front?
I don't know. Like, Sony found theirs through Destiny, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Xbox has had their Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly don't know. I don't know what would fit really well right now with Nintendo's kind of feel that they have. You know, how they've had... They're really... I mean, Nintendo really is really heavy on JRPG, right? Isn't it? Like...
Yeah, for the most part.
I mean, yes, Sony is as well.
Yeah.
But... I don't know.
The only thing I could think of would probably be maybe Monster Hunters, but that's still kind of their first party. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
To kind of talk about a couple more topics before we end this episode quickly. Zelda. It's gonna be on the show floor. Do you think it's gonna be awesome?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it would be great. I'm pretty sure it would be absolutely great.
That's why I figured we shouldn't have to talk about it much because it's just assumed by this point. This game's been being made for a long time. It has to be good.
Yes, it really does. And I don't know. It just the idea they're taking kind of a risk, which I like out of Nintendo. They're
Sure.
taking a risk, saying we're going to do this open world kind of thing.
With Zelda? Yeah.
Yeah, for
They're
Zelda.
almost doing a Shadow
that
Colossus
that
like.
they've never done. You know, it's really been focused around dungeons and kind of stuff.
Yeah.
For their really, really, really good games, such as Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Sure.
You know, those weren't open world, and I really like how they're doing this risk, and I think it'll be great. It looks great from what screenshots I've seen of it, and I think it'll be really, really good.
Awesome.
Really excited for it.
Well, that's the time we've got for this episode. Thank you very much for joining. Please hit that like button, subscribe button, and join us for some more content in the future. Thank you very much, and you guys have a great day.
Peace.